Hello, Internet. Casey here. Been 2.5 months since I did a capsule vlog, and there's a couple reasons for that. I had a wicked August, and I guess none of these are really good excuses because it takes me 15 to 20 minutes to do one of these. But nonetheless, just stating that I had an awesome, crazy August, one of the best Augusts of my life, and there's a bunch of cool things I'm gonna note for this auto vlog, for capsule vlog for you and myself and or family in the future. So I realized after doing these for a while, I was doing them like without publishing them, and that was all fine and dandy. But then once I kind of made it apparent that I was going to put them on the internet, it turned into like content for me and like something I felt obligated to do. And then like your mind, once you think of it as work and like all the things I was already busy and doing, I just kept putting it off. So I have to get outside that frame of mind and remember that these are for me, and it's not supposed to be super curated for YouTube. So their formula is going to be all over the place and all that stuff. And I need to like remember that and just have fun with it. And this is for the future, and they're just personal vlogs if you guys happen to watch them. So August was super crazy. So for any of you that watched the first or second one knew that I was going to Ashtabula for a big yacht club race, and that was cool. We didn't place very well, even though both the sails were fine. The second day sail would have been incredible, but the wind died midway, and that boat that we sail on needs a lot of wind to really outperform other boats. So the placements were okay. I had daiquiri party, a good dinner. Nothing too crazy. I slept on the top side of a wooden boat for the first time. I got a really cool photo. The following weekend after that was Tall Ships 2019 in Erie, PA, and it is probably now going to be the hub every 3 years, or I think it's 3 or 4 years, for Tall Ships, which is like schooners and fully rigged wooden ships from around the world. We had 12 or 13 ships this year, and Appledore 1, Appledore 2, Blue Nose 2 from Nova Scotia, Neo Santa Maria from Spain, which is the exact replica of the Santa Maria from Christopher Columbus's expedition from Europe to America in, it was 1600s, I forget the date, but it's the exact same thing. They just built it out of fiberglass and metal, and then they slab the exterior of actual wood, so then it's like more of a modern safe vessel, you know. Anyways, that was there. Of course, our local Brig Niagara, Picton Castle, and what's the one on my phone? I put the Neo Santa Maria. I don't know if there you go, Neo Santa Maria. I have another sticker. I don't know what I did with it, but it was a sticker of the other boat. It wasn't Picton Castle. Anyways, that was super awesome. I got GoPro footage of them coming into our peninsula, and I was on a boat, the boat that we race on in the race fleet, and so that was pretty cool. That was kind of a personal footage thing. I didn't think about uploading it, but then, you know, that was on a Thursday, and then like that Saturday and Sunday I was down there going on the ships, and I had a GoPro chesty for like walkabouts and stuff, and I probably could have posted that on Facebook or YouTube, and you know, since it would have been relevant and hyped, it probably would have like maybe caught some traction, and a lot of people could have seen it, but I didn't really have intent to do that. So maybe someday I'll like go through and edit that up, at least clean it and condense them. So that was cool. There was something else the week after that, and I'm forgetting what it is, but I'm not sure, unless it was the week after that was the windmill regatta, or that it was the weekend after that. So it would be like Dover Tall Ships something regatta, or Dover Tall Ships regatta something. I don't. It doesn't matter. But I went and did a windmill regatta. Somebody I knew got me in touch with a gentleman who's a very skilled and experienced sailor of like 30 years. He used to do some sailing over in Korea and Thailand, and you know, global, and he's local now, but been sailing for 30 years, and we only placed 7th overall out of 12 boats in a windmill class dinghy regatta, which, you know, it just is what it is. He's very skilled, and we performed fine, but I think just the performance of the wind and like some other factors, we didn't place very well, but we were the most consistent on the rap sheet, because we placed out of 5 races, it was like 7th, 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 6th, 8th or something like that. So we were like basically we are doing the same every time. I don't know, it's super funny, but nonetheless, that happened. September was kind of a like normal month, but a lot of yacht club races. Went out in the windmills one more time, and so in September we went to Dover. Was the only significant thing that happens. For those of you that don't know Northeast America geography, it would be Ohio, a little sliver of PA, and then a big chunk of New York that covers Lake Erie. And directly north across from where Erie is Dover, Canada. We made it across in 6 hours, which is just absurdly fast. It's like 37 miles via water in a straight line. And it was a race on the yacht club fleet, I think of like 11 boats or some sort. And we left at 7 in the morning on a Saturday, and the Friday before that, like the night prior, it was stormy, like thunderstorms, heavy winds, and rain. And so coming out of our bay, protected waters, and going into the lake, there was like 6 to 7 feet of chop, and like a minimum of 14 knots of wind. And then at a couple points, once we got to like middle of the lake, it was like 22 knots of wind. So we made it across in that 55-foot wooden boat in like 6 hours, or as Dave would say, a nice little jog across the lake, because we really made it across. It was fast. I mean, there's boats that have done it faster, but like that's still fast. Nonetheless, Dover was pretty cool. My first time sailing to Canada, and I walked around a little bit. Found a payphone. Thought those were extinct, but I guess not in Canada. I was gonna make a phone call on it after I bought some French fries on the boardwalk. I was like, well, like I should call somebody, but then I was thinking to myself, like there's so many spam callers and phone numbers that I don't pick up. I just like screen them now. So I'm like, if I called somebody, like what are the odds they're gonna pick up when they see this random Canadian international phone? So I didn't. I should have in hindsight, but whatever. Got a really good white perch dinner. That was awesome. Drank single malt Scotch whiskey on the boat with a gentleman who could play the fiddle and was really into poetry. His name was Kyle. He's a super cool dude. Older folk, retired. But that was the first bottle of single malt Scotch whiskey. Like 4 or 5 of us all sipped on it. That was nice. But the highlight of the trip was the following morning when we went to go leave, coming out of the club and down the channel. We had to make the 7 o'clock bridge. Race starts at 8 o'clock. We get underneath the bridge, it lifts up because, we have a tall mast boat. Excuse me. We're going down the channel to get out, and there's the lighthouse to the right, which is, I don't know, 30 feet tall, but there's a 6-foot, like, cement foundation for it. And as we're getting close to it, about to, like, come up to it, we see somebody sitting on the south side of it, which is, like, facing the lake, and they have no shirt on. And it's, like, a cool 7 o'clock in the morning, like, 50 degrees outside. And so we're like, what? And then we get closer and they have earrings. And then as we're like right next to her and we're looking over, it's a woman. It's a middle-aged woman, probably like early 30s, just chilling, melons hanging out. And we're like going by her and we're just like we're so confused. I guess that's what she wanted to do on a Sunday morning in Canada. And we were all laughing and chuckling. And like 35 seconds go by and we're further away from the shore, and we turn around to see, and the other boats are coming out, and she's putting her shirt on. So she's like, yeah, I'm done with this. I guess we were just the cool boat. Next thing you know, she realizes there's more boats coming, so she takes her shirt off. And this is probably like 60, 80 yards away, so it's like you can see her, but we couldn't make out anything anymore or whose boats they were. And then, we see her put her shirt back on, and we're like, what the hell? And Kyle made a nice poem about it. He was like, I should have wrote it down, and I think he was going to as well because it was like such a great story, but we were joking about that. It was hilarious. We made it back to the finish line at Erie with like 30 minutes to spare on the maximum allotted time, and that was due to just not enough wind. We weren't moving a lot. That would pretty much make up for my September. It is now October 15th. There's a bunch of things, little things here and there that I could probably throw up here for future analyzing. I don't know, like just things going on. Like I picked up not journalism, but like writing things down as like reminders and or calendars, like to dos and reminders. Like I just write like all kinds of stuff now. I've been doing this for like almost a month, and like I love it. This book goes everywhere with me, and then I can like write down little things like examples. Well, these is cool. Like in the front, I got like 9 healthy habits and like a really good quote I like, and uh, good. I won't get into that. So like things like movies that I need to watch that I like always forget to watch that people tell me are good. Little things to do like clean this, sort that, sell this, fix this part of my dirt bike. Things that like that wouldn't bother me until I like think about them in the most insignificant moment. So now I can come home and just be like, all right, here's some shit I can do. I can get done. Trying not to make it a crutch, but it like helps me a lot. I feel way more productive, and I'm always remembering things or getting things accomplished, and it's awesome. I did say it was October 15th, I think. My birthday is in 2 days, and we were having it at the Skunk and Goat Tavern, which is funny because generally when my father, my grandmother, or like my sister, a couple people have their birthday dinners, they always have it at this place called Hibachi, the Japanese steakhouse, and like it's almost like a church. Every time, like 5-6 times a year, we're going there for birthday dinners. And like everybody loves it, and I'm just like, I don't know, I like to do something different. So I changed it up and switched it over to this cool place. And the building is old, and I think it had a really old school bank in it prior to it being restaurant after restaurant or barber shop or whatever. Because when you eat there, it's dead center of the building in the back. There's a super big metal like safe door, like something that like Andre the Giant could fit through, and it just swings open, and there's like a special table in there that you can like reserve for parties and stuff. So we're gonna go and eat dinner in that, and that'll be super cool. What else? I'm getting into D&D. I've always wanted to play, and I've always had like third party stories and or like listen to engagements on YouTube and stuff. And everybody around me I've known's played D&D, but I haven't managed to like get into a party. So I started going to an event at a local meadery, and they had people that played D&D would show up, and we would like mess around, do one shots, do little games and stuff. So now I've messaged a couple people, and I'm trying to organize an actual like group of us that are just gonna play D&D and try not to like nerd out on it, but like just have fun and do stupid stuff and make fun rolls and just, I don't know, have a good time, have a couple beers. So that'll be happening this Sunday. We're gonna play it in my treehouse, and it's getting kind of cold, so we'll see how it goes. But it's fairly insulated, so if I put the space heater up there and just crank it, I think we'll be okay for a couple hours. I don't think there's anything else. Oh, I got that's super important. After the windmill regatta, which was the end of August, two of the people that were sailing in it had been given a boat that was donated to the fleet that's going to like stay in Erie, so that we always have, when like regattas or day races come out, we always have an X amount of windmills so that we can just do a one design race. They were given this, and they had to jury rig some stuff and improvise some things to make it sailable, but it sailed fine. And they were considering the idea of just buying a whole new one instead of like refurbishing this and buying new sails. And I was like, all right, well, like if you guys buy a new one, I'll be interested in adopting it and putting some work into it. Like I need to learn how to work on stuff. And so, they hadn't decided, but like a week or two later, the guy who organizes the race fleet and this windmill event, he found somebody who was selling one for $800. So I bought myself a windmill class dinghy for $800. And the previous owner was a gentleman who'd been selling windmills for like 40 years. Like he's a stud. Like he's won nationals multiple times with it. And so it's not a perfect boat. It needs some TLC, maybe some cleaning up, because it's got a lot of extra paint on it because it was sailed in salt water. And so just a little bit of love, cleaning up some lines and maybe getting rid of some extra paint and cleaning up some blocks and whatnot. But it'll last year he sailed it, and he beat the guy that I was just talking about that organized the event. So it's a capable boat. So I have like a nice boat to sail these regattas in. So I got 2 boats now. Sold a dirt bike. That was also a big help for purchasing it. Yeah, a bunch of other odds and ends. There's more stuff that I would love to have documented for future. but I just rather slacking on the auto vlogs. But I'm gonna try doing them no longer than 3 weeks apart, so that I can wrap up all these like super cool ideas and things that are going on in my life that I'd like to reevaluate later on. So yeah, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. But as always, these are for me and whomever to reflect on in the future. So maybe you enjoyed it, but doodles.